Even gezien?
Asira varanahede.
Me voltocht en geherdveen. Me vertruv het een bellengrek.
Visse dein it kieseret. Net en verbtere. Het en krisa. Do you know what this is?
I know.
Who it is?
Triss Merigold. Until recently advisor to King Foltest. Artifact compression. Complicated spell.
Is she alive?
Her life processes are on hold. But it is reversible. Though, very difficult.
You created a portal between Loc Muinne and Nilfgaard. You should manage the figurine.
Stand back. I cannot be sure how her body will react to decompression.
No pentagrams, candles, spilt blood.
It figures you do know little about magic, Ambassador. It matters not.
We need her alive, Asira. Make sure her body survives decompression well.
I'll do what I can. But she will be disoriented for some time. What is your name? Oh! Tell me your name. Triss!
Visse getocht gedein. Visse sped eb Waivers. Daar tocht et nedling erin. Me hin eveneens eb Turin. Me puft en alverdeg. Merigold. Your name is Triss Merigold.
I recognize this valley. This path leads to the city gates. We're almost there.
RB tracks everywhere.
Long time ago by your measure. King, wasting time. These mountains have witnessed the fall of two civilizations. First that of
They may be about to witness the fall of the third. Did the elves conquer the Friends?
No, disease did, and the climate. Long ago, the sources of the Pontard did not freeze over and flowed all year. Flowers still bloomed on these slopes in Velen. Knights of the Flaming Rose at a peace summit.
I wonder whose side they're on.
On that of whoever paid them.
They've made camp outside the city walls. Means they're not here in an official capacity.
Are they on vacation?
Maybe they just don't want to stand out.
Iorveth has a dragon up her sleeve. Radovid has invited a unit of the Order's knights.
Don't forget Sheila and Henselt.
It should be an interesting peace summit.
Any idea who might have summoned them?
Radovid. Now the scum of the Order wear the Redanian coat of arms as they burn pyres. Witch hunts are their favorite pastime, or so I've heard.
Radovid witnessed what the Order did in Vizima. He saw the Grand Master's madness with his own eyes. Yet he gave them a new home. For a good reason, I expect.
That's easy. He needed a whip against Isleheart. I know. To them, a good elf is a dead elf.
It's not because you're an elf. It's because you're Iorveth.
I'll try to enter the city through the caves. I'd advise you to do the same.
The knights will know I'm wanted. You know of a passage?
I know of a cave nearby. There are many ways to enter Loc Muinne, my friend. If Radovid has summoned the Order, I'm certain the others have brought their armies as well. The city must be full of soldiers. All of them sitting as if on a witch's bomb, waiting for a spark. But that may be to our advantage. If the rulers have holed themselves up in camps, it should be easy to move about between them.
Let's go before we get noticed. Medallion's vibrating.
Good you're here. Look what I found.
Keep your distance.
Already forgotten that a similar creature hung around my place. was a forested valley on the other side of the city, once teeming with wildlife. It's now dead. The royal delegations arrived here that week.
I know. That's why we went around. What exactly killed the Vrans?
As the years went by and the climate turned colder, the Vrans had less and less food. Their hunters descended to the lowlands where they encountered the first human settlers and their slaves. Titans disappeared. The Vrans never fully. They tried to save themselves, building an aqueduct and sewers that rivaled today's. But it grew colder, and the canals remained frozen for most of the year. When the elves arrived, they encountered only ghosts, a dead city falling into ruin. The Enshe rebuilt it, restored its former beauty. Humans did not arrive here for many more years. Marshal Raupenek then swiftly proved himself more deadly than all diseases combined. He attacked at night, murdering all the city's inhabitants. Most families died in their homes. The fires raged on for days.
Dragon fire can turn a city into a flaming tomb much quicker than Raupenek's arsonists. Philippa has a hold of them. We're in Loc Muinne.
We're on the fringes somewhere. We should find what we came for nearer the main quarters.
Let's go.
They gagged Philippa in the nick of time. She almost cast a spell. Rotting in the Redanian dungeon now in special shackles.
Radovid's right to show the witches their place.
I wonder what they'll do to her. Either the executioner or the monsters will have their fun. They say Loc Muinne's dungeons are full of scum of all kinds.
No idea what they locked her up for, but every sorceress is guilty of something.
True enough. Not likely to see anyone weeping for her.
A dungeon befits Philippa Eilhart very well, though gallows would be even better.
If they kill her, you can forget about healing Saskia.
They must guard her as heavily as the Emperor's bedchamber. We'll not get in there.
I'm in no hurry to visit the Emperor's bedchamber, but we've got to get into the dungeon.
Look for a passage through the sewers. I'll locate Eilhart's quarters. If she didn't expect to be arrested, I may find something interesting there.
The tunnels beneath the city sound reasonable.
They used to lead almost everywhere, though some passages may have collapsed during the fires.
It's still worth a shot.
Let's go then.
I'll find Philippa. You search her quarters.
Right. We learned a lot the last time we browsed through her things. Va fail, Gwynblade.
Medallion's vibrating.
How can I help?
I want to play dice.
You must first prove you're good enough by defeating the elves who play here.
Oh, be damned.
Welcome.
Oh, it's a lovely day today.
Now you tell me. I don't work with sorceresses. This is no job for me.
What's going on? Are you about to fight?
The Conclave has forbidden dueling.
You can't just back out. We agreed. We have commitments to fulfill.
You did take an advance on your fee.
And I'm keeping it. Don't you follow me.
Witcher Geralt. A sight for sore eyes you are. May we speak?
Didn't expect to see you again. Certainly not here.
Loc Muinne is an intriguing place.
For scientists especially.
We've mounted a small expedition and require protection.
I don't have much time. Let me hear some details.
The sorceress will reveal everything. We're on our way to meet her. I can only say it concerns Ebder Henna.
His laboratory, to be precise. Der Henna is dead.
What was Der Henna doing in this city?
Everyone's heard of his 1,000 genie curse, but few know that he also had a penchant for the history of Loc Muinne. He was particularly interested in the Vrans and their ultimate decline as a civilization. In his memoirs, he mentions that he left his archive here. That's how we pinpointed the location of his laboratory.
You did?
The sorceress did, in point of fact.
But we're the ones who know everything about Ep Der Henna.
I wrote my dissertation about the man. To arrive at the laboratory, we must pass through the sewers.
I know a thing or two about monsters, and about sorceresses. What's this one's name?
I'm sorry, but we cannot disclose her name until you agree to join us.
Nice talking to you then.
Cynthia! Her name is Cynthia!
Remember that potion you gave me back in Flotsam?
Of course. How's the experiment going? Noticed any side effects?
Or peculiar interactions with other potions?
Yeah, every time I mix it with vodka, my tongue gets hairy. All right, I'm willing to help.
You won't regret it.
Where do we start?
We've gained access to an ancient crypt where mages were laid to rest. It's beneath that tower. Our companions await us there.
So, are you a sorceress now?
It's not that simple. A pass is simply not enough. But Philippa Eilhart summoned me here for an important exam, so I hope to be one soon.
An exam?
A secret one. I'm not even sure how to prepare. I'm cramming intensely, everything bit by bit, just to be sure.
Good luck. Still willing to sell me potions and herbs?
I'm a student, aren't I? Every little copper counts.
I'm collecting information about the Wild Hunt. Help me out?
The Wild Hunt. A retinue of wraiths who speed across the heavens upon skeletal horses. Positive proof of its existence has yet to be proffered. However, no one is prepared to deny its occasional sorties into this world.
Proffered? Sorties?
That, at least, is what I remember from the lectures. It's a waste of words.
At your service.
Oh, it's a lovely day today.
We've broken through! In the right spot!
Quiet. Stand ready. He killed Vanamar.
And many other mages. I know who he is, Cynthia.
In the same city as Philippa, and you didn't even bother to change your name. That takes balls.
Philippa's out of the picture. She's been arrested.
And I was supposed to die, but I didn't. Grave error.
I'll make you a deal.
You don't get it. You turned Triss into a cold stone. I'm having a hard time trying to figure out why I shouldn't turn you into a cold corpse.
She is alive and well. We decompressed her successfully. There were no complications.
And the interrogation after she was decompressed? Because you did interrogate her.
I personally supervised it. We presented the tools, gave her a few bruises, and that sufficed to get her to talk.
Cynthia, tell him to shut up or I'll kill him.
Silence, Adelbear. That's an order. Witcher, help me complete my mission. Help me open Der Henna's laboratory.
What'll you give me?
I've read the intelligence reports. I know your past. There are things in there, important things you don't remember.
I could force you to tell me.
I don't think so. Will you torture me? We both know you couldn't.
We'll come back to that. Why are you here?
We suspect Der Henna's laboratory may contain documents and books that could be useful to the Imperial Academy of Science.
That wasn't even close to funny. You're lying.
We don't know what's inside. Der Henna was a talented man, but also an eccentric.
What do you hope to find?
That's confidential. I cannot tell you. Regardless, we need your help. The laboratory lies beneath the Redanian camp, which we cannot penetrate above ground. We want to get there through the sewers, but can't manage it without a capable swordsman.
How can I get into the Nilfgaardian camp?
There's one entrance. Beyond it, a long, heavily guarded corridor. You can't hope to sneak in. Renwald Matsen chose the spot specifically to avoid being surprised.
Where are you holding Triss?
At the back of the camp, beneath a ruined building.
You're gonna help me free her.
Not likely. You're better off killing me now. You've no idea what the Emperor's intelligence apparatus does to turncoats.
About that offer. I won't help you. I'm getting out of here. If you ever spot me again, I'd advise you to run.
Oh, go.
Not on my watch. Shillard condemned him to death. He should be dead. Vanimar failed. We cannot. Long live the Emperor!
Well, I suppose that marks the definitive end of our expedition.
You couldn't spare them. We cannot hope to breach Der Henna's locks without them.
I know, but I had no choice. I know Cynthia, her methods. They'd have used us just before they killed us.
What about science?
Science will find a way.
Incinerate!
What?
Renounce magic!
Good luck, whatever your plans.
Shatter your towers, break your wands, and burn your hats! Turn away the black...
It's a brazen attack. King Radovid...
Greetings. Nice place.
Many thanks for the compliment. Welcome to the Eternal Fire.
Kitchen open day and night?
It's not that kind of fire. The Eternal Fire is the light of truth, the hearth of a true community. Only in the Eternal Fire beneath the sign of this clan can we burn witches all day and man is fellow man.
Radovid sent them, you idiot!
The audacity!
Pull yourself
It's a
together!
waste of words.
Irso, what are you doing here?
No future in rat catching. I decided to pursue a career in entertainment instead.
Good luck.
This troupe has potential. As their manager and master of ceremonies, I'll make these folk the most famous entertainers north of the Yaruga. See now a new number?
Hold on, Irso, before you get all worked up. I've had more than my share of entertainment recently. What I need to know is if you still make traps.
Anything for a colleague?
Constable John Natalis.
Interex John Natalis. He is regent.
It's you. Greetings?
I don't want anything to do with you.
Greetings.
Here to see the show. It's cancelled, indefinitely. We're now in the services sector.
What service do you provide?
I was once a good swordsmith, or at least it looked like I might be. A riot came through, took my workshop with it, but the skill remained. I actually prefer swallowing swords to hammering them, but that upsets my wife.
Give her my best.
You can do so yourself. She's Alona, the bearded she-elf.
Ah, and how's life with a bearded she-elf?
Pretty normal. We don't generally bring our work home with us.
Prepare for your final lesson.
Fine.
Welcome. I'm Alona, the bearded she-elf.
Bearded?
Don't be a child. We came here to perform, but this place is a circus in itself. Nobody's interested in us, so we're on to plan B. Trade.
What do you sell?
Food. Fresh. Very good. You want to buy something, or are you waiting for my beard to grow out? But I'll have no discussion. This will be a...
Please, help yourself.
You'll learn what a sorceress can...
Greetings.
I don't want anything to do with you.
Are you thirsty or hungry? Please, help yourself. Have a nice stay in Loc Muinne.
I'm Geralt.
Brass of Banard. I remember you from Thanad. I believe I saw you in Oxenfurt, too.
Seems we only ever meet on Elvenland.
Indeed. But I suspect you're not here to chat about elven ruins.
On the contrary, I find elven ruins interesting.
Do you really? Elven works are not half as interesting as gnomish ones.
But even ruined, Loc Muinne is impressive. It must have been beautiful in the times of the First Conclave.
Everything was better before the war, as they say.
The sources. Those children that old Geoffrey Monk brought here to train in the magic arts must have walked around gaping at all they saw.
Somehow I just can't imagine Hen Gedimdeath as a small gawking boy.
You met him? Ah, right, on Thanedd. His death was a terrible loss. Terrible. You see, Geralt, everyone complains about how the world is taking a turn for the worse.
Values are being compromised. The small is dislodging the great.
Exactly. But the events on Thanedd truly marked the end of an era. The world grew up, losing its virginity in a rape.
What use are masters of magic and legendary heroes to a grown-up world?
They're of no use. That's the point. Today, people manage perfectly well without mages, witches, and heroes.
Yet not everyone understands that, and not everyone likes it.
You're so clever you'll get in trouble. We'd best change the subject.
Actually, I'm here because of your weapon expertise.
I'm no expert.
You're the best swordsmith among mages.
I'm more interested in the cultural relics of other races, actually.
I'm going to need a solid cultural relic in my hand.
I guess the circumstances require haste.
Tell me what you know about those gargoyles that are bothering you.
They were servants of the mages who once lived in Loc Muinne. The mages left, but the gargoyles remained behind. They're still lethal. The quarters they guard are simply inaccessible.
Hey there!
How are things?
You're either very unobservant or very rude. I thought I'd meet some of my colleagues from years past, chat with them and reminisce, but they all turn their heads away and treat me like air.
Mages aren't known for being polite.
You're telling me. They threw me out of Banard the first chance they got. Must have beaten the Chancellor one too many times. They've all forgotten me, and I believe I've had enough. I'm getting rid of the grimoires and amulets. I don't want anything to do with mages.
I'd like to cast an eye at those if you don't mind.
Sure. Cast both if you want.
Anything on the Wild Hunt in your collection?
I'd avoid the topic altogether. Nothing good has ever come to those who have delved.
I'll take my chances. I need to know why the Wraiths carry off youths. What happens to them?
This knowledge has never been recorded, which does not mean it cannot be acquired.
Well, I'd like to acquire it.
In the chasms beneath Loc Muinne, there is a sword that once belonged to an elf from the parallel world.
And nobody's gone to look for it?
There are mages who seek it still, but the sword is well concealed. They say he who handles it will understand the essence of the Wild Hunt. Could that be true, though?
Geralt, prepare for your final lesson.
Witcher, interesting.
Nice place. Has character, tradition. You're not bothered by all the blood that was shed here?
Thaned was also built by the elves. I know Loc Muinne's history. We will return it to its former glory.
I'd like to see that.
We're merely waiting for the treaty to be signed. The new council must act lawfully from the start.
Magic's not exactly subject to human laws. The rulers might not believe your intentions are pure.
This summit should convince them of that. Mages as royal advisors is an ancient tradition. They simply need us.
And you need their gold, along with a guarantee that they won't set the pyres burning again. Flea's inviting the dog to council, as I see it. Why aren't you restoring your palaces on Thaned Island?
Only the Academy at Aretusa Palace continues to operate there. The other palaces can't be restored. The magical resonance is too great. Besides, Loc Muinne has greater potential. It's full of ley lines and natural sources of the power. This city positively vibrates with magic.
Then I'm glad it'll be in the charge of such experienced and responsible people. Consider my fears eased. The previous council ended tragically. You think this one will fare any better?
I certainly hope so. We'll start by implementing meticulous internal controls, peer reviews and such.
You'll spy on each other? That's nothing new.
It's necessary. Lack of oversight, that's what caused all the previous organization's failures.
You mean it wasn't excess ambition and lust for power? Live and learn, I guess.
So, even the Nilfgaardians have graced us with their presence.
Inbox John Taris. He is regent.
I don't want anything to do with you.
Your Majesty.
I've waited long for this meeting. You left Redania so suddenly I had no chance to give you the send-off you so richly deserved.
Your Majesty, I fail to understand why I have been arrested. I've done nothing but serve Redania's interests, supporting the rebellion, undermining Henselt, risking my own reputation on your behalf.
I'm no longer the little boy who believed your every word.
Why do you do this, Radovid? I was there at your most trying hours. Without me, you would not be the man you are. I don't understand.
You understand very well. You conspired against my father Vizimir, and against me. The entire Redanian court once trembled in fear of Philippa Eilhart.
Untrue, sire. You must let me explain. What are your charges, Your Majesty?
Ambassador.
Triss Merigold was kind enough to compile a list of persons making up the secret society known as the Lodge of Sorceresses. Some Nilfgaardian sorceresses were members as well, but you need not be bothered with them, my lady.
Triss, you're mad!
The Lodge ordered Demoven killed. It ordered Foltest killed. I suspect you played a part in my father's death. And if I released you from the Dimeritium, you'd kill me too. You're finished, Eilhart. There will be a trial, due process, everything as it should be. But know that you shall not wriggle out of this. You shall be convicted of conspiracy, treason, and regicide. They'll rip your flesh from you in bits before they burn you at the stake. Throughout my childhood, I felt your cold stare on the back of my neck. When I issued orders, my subjects would search with their eyes for Philippa Eilhart's gesture of consent. The entire court at Tretogor looked on as you humiliated me. All Redania laughed behind my back. You taught me to look everyone in the eye. Forced them to lower their gaze, do you remember? A king must never show weakness, uncertainty, you said. I've mastered that skill. Yet there is one I could never force to submit. You. You've one chance to shorten your suffering. Admit to everything, here and now in the ambassador's presence. Look me in the eye and repent. Submit. As you wish. Torturer, put out those vile eyes.
You're making a grave error, sire.
We will talk again, witch.
The Philippa Eilhart problem has been resolved. We must return to camp.
Wait here, Excellency. We'll scout a...
Intruder! Get him!
Long live the Emperor!
You're not easy to find.
Look what they did to me. Radovid. To think I taught him magic tricks when he was just a boy. Free me, Geralt. I have to get out of here. Do you hear me? Help me!
You'll answer a few questions first. Was Shillard telling the truth about the Lodge, the assassinations?
He said exactly what Radovid wanted to hear. Half-truths, musings stripped of context, which differ very little from lies.
Did Triss take part in all this?
She's clean in those terms. Innocent as a child, but only to a point. I assure you, she has not been honest with you about many other matters.
Why did all this happen? Murdering monarchs, what interests did it serve? I can't fathom.
Help me get out of here and I'll explain all and lift the spell from Saskia. Take these shackles off me and lead me to my house. I beg you. I'll tell you everything. Everything. Saskia's will and mine are one. She cannot resist me. But fear not. There's no suffering involved. She merely believes me to be the most wonderful person in the world. As if she were in love. You know what's most beautiful? In spite of all this, she seems unchanged. She's retained her charm, her valor, her honor.
I didn't track you alone. Iorveth can't wait to see you again.
My death would change little. Iorveth and all like him have no right to judge others.
Where's Saskia?
When I was arrested, she was with Sheila. They must be on their way to the deliberations by now.
Clock's ticking. Time is of the essence.
Why do you do this? Would you take vengeance on a blind woman?
Shillard said they've got Triss. I have to free her before they put out her eyes too.
Going to the Nilfgaardian camp is suicide.
And leaving a friend is villainy.
Only I know how to break the spell that holds Saskia. Get me out of here. If I die, she'll remain forever spellbound.
Saskia will remain an enslaved monster through your wickedness. You deserve to die.
Even if you reach Triss, you will not free her.
Sure I will. I'll trade Shillard for her.
And what will Iorveth say when he learns you abandoned Saskia?
You worry about what he'll do to you. I doubt he'll see your blindness as sufficient punishment.
Do you think Merigold's innocent?
You have no right to judge her. Goodbye, Eilhart. Move your ass, Excellency.
This is preposterous. What do you aim to achieve?
I want to see Triss. How did you get in here?
Put that sword down.
Only after I cut your throat. The choice is yours.
I know of a tunnel.
Then you can be my guide.
It's the tunnel to the left.
You make an exceptional guide. Go. One false move and your ambassador will never see Nilfgaard's son again.
My men won't let you leave here alive.
They will if you ask them to, Excellency, and I believe you will.
Reynold Eb Matsen's orders come from the Emperor himself. He'd rather die than give you Merigold.
Then he'll die.
No, mark my words. You will. Unless you release me. It's not too late.
You're boring me. Pick up the pace.
Why do you care for that sorceress so much?
Go.
Are you in love with her? A poor choice, even for you.
That cuts no ice with me. Out of the way, all of you, or the old man dies.
Hold there!
I'm not joking.
I know, and I advise you not to hesitate. Kill him, for we shan't move one bit.
Renwald!
He who brings me the Witcher's head will get the Order of Merit.
But Ambassador Fitzestelen...
Your Excellency. Orders from the capital.
Now I'll have to kill you all.
What are you waiting for? Get him!
Long live the Emperor!
Taste our shield! Taste our steel!
The gate's closed. There must be another way in.
Did you really think you could just prance in here? Make the Emperor proud! Kill him!
For Nilfgaard!
The Imperial Army's ranks are endless!
Long live the Emperor!
Stubborn beast, Morley.
Die, dog! Die, dog!
Congratulations, Witcher. They were my best men.
You should have picked them more carefully, or trained them better.
Or perhaps they were ready for any foe but you.
Free Triss, or join them.
You amaze me. How can you risk your life for a witch?
She has information that's very important to me.
Ah, that I understand. You're exceptionally reasonable for a Nordling.
Thanks. It means a lot to hear you say that.
It should, because I in turn have information about her, which you may find interesting.
What are you talking about?
Your friend and the other witches conspired against your rulers.
How do you know that?
From the best possible source. She confessed.
And how did you convince her to do that?
By showing her the confessions of other Lodge members.
I don't believe you.
That's irrelevant at this point. During our chat, my people managed to regroup, call for reinforcements.
Maybe now they'll start fighting like men.
Time to show the Empire's true power. Surround him! Shame to the Empire! Shield bearers, forward! Emperor, I failed you.
see me.
Are you kidding? The only person you expect to see in a Nilfgaardian dungeon is the executioner.
Did they torture you?
They tried various things, but they got nothing from me.
I traveled half the world to find you.
I know it was hard on you. I'll never forget this, you hear? Never.
I'd slaughter half the Nilfgaardian army for a friend. I know you're a member of the Lodge, Triss.
How do you know of the Lodge?
Does it matter? I also know the Lodge was behind Demaven's assassination.
Geralt,
I trust you.
True. I'm a member of the Lodge. Just like 8 other sorceresses. But if you think I'm responsible for the Lodge's actions, you're badly mistaken. The Lodge is a theater for 2 actresses. Sheila and Philippa have long dominated it.
To the point where you didn't know about the murder they planned?
To the point where I was no longer invited to gatherings.
Why?
They stopped trusting me.
Because you didn't agree with them?
9 women very rarely agree on anything. The actual problem was that...
Tell me.
I was close to you. If Sheila fears anyone, it's Geralt of Rivia. The Lodge did everything to convince me that our relationship didn't bother them, even that it suited them. But they manipulated me. Through me, they fed you select information. Depending on the circumstances, they twisted facts.
We're still close. They could still be doing it.
Don't insult me.
Calm down, Triss. Reynold Ep Matsen claimed otherwise, but I'll always take your word over that of some Nilfgaardian lowlifes. Now, you'll tell me everything you know. I need to learn the truth.
All existing councils of mages disintegrated after the Thaned massacre. We all acted separately. Philippa decided to create a new organization, a secret one this time. When I was sworn in, it never crossed my mind that the Lodge's plans would soon become secret to its members. As you know, Philippa's not one for minor undertakings. She presented a plan for creating a powerful state controlled by sorceresses.
The best laid schemes of mages and men.
Philippa and Sheila never lacked ideas or enthusiasm. To control a powerful state, they needed to create one first. Or find a wealthy land with a suitable political arrangement and an easily manipulated leader. Sheila chose the Pontar Valley, Demavend, and Stennis.
I'd choose the same if I were her. Demavend didn't have a network of spies anywhere near as good as Henselt's or Radovid's.
Nor could he count on the loyalty of such men as our dear Vernon Roach. At one of our meetings, I just asked how they imagined overthrowing Demavend. That was the last time I was invited. After Demavend's death, I became suspicious but had no evidence. Philippa brushed me off. When you went off to meet Iorveth and Sheila was busy with the Karen's carcass, I managed to scan parts of her megascope. That's when I learned that Sheila had dealings with Letho.
If only I'd learned that, everything could have been different.
Letho must have shadowed me when I entered Sheila's room. Then he forced me to teleport us to somewhere near Vergen.
Did you talk to him?
He wasn't aggressive. In Vergen, he told me that Sheila commissioned them to assassinate Demavend. Them being the Witchers of the School of the Viper. Sheila helped them prepare the assassination.
I wonder why he told you about it.
Is that important?
Conspirators who suddenly divulge everything? I'd be suspicious.
There was some interference as we teleported to Edirn. I emerged intact, but pretty battered.
I met the troll who fell in love with you.
He saved me, tended to my wounds. But when he started treating me like a caged canary, I fled. I knew Philippa was in the area. I decided to go see her and lay my cards on the table.
Maybe Letho wanted just that.
I met a woman at Philippa's house. Thought she was just a servant or Philippa's lover. Before I could speak, I was overpowered by spells. I hardly expected an attack. The pain I felt as my body was compressed. It's indescribable. As if all my bones were being broken. It's even worse when you return to your true form. In any case, Philippa had no idea her lover was a Nilfgaardian spy. I was carried as that figurine all the way to Loc Muinne. Asira decompressed me back just before they murdered her. Shillard interrogated me but learned nothing. If it wasn't for you, they'd have had me quartered. I didn't piece the puzzle together until I was here, in the dungeon. Now you know everything.
Who had Foltest assassinated?
I have no idea. Perhaps after Demavend's successful assassination, Sheila and Philippa decided to take the next step.
That would be stupid. Killing Demavend was a way to take control of the Pontar Valley. People would forget the regicide in a year, and the Lodge could put its plan in motion. They had to know that if Foltest died, men like Roach wouldn't rest until they learned why that had happened.
One thing is certain. Letho killed Foltest, and Sheila was working with Letho.
Did Saskia know the Lodge's plans?
She didn't even know the Lodge existed. Philippa told her that the sorceresses would support an independent state in the Pontar Valley, no strings attached. A fairy tale, but Saskia bought it. Saskia backed Philippa, and the people backed Saskia.
Philippa controlled Saskia with her spells.
Figures. The woman's a control freak.
She miscalculated by coming to Loc Muinne. Radovid had her imprisoned and then blinded.
That's impossible.
I was there. Ever find out what Sheila was actually doing in Flotsam? I find it hard to believe she went there just to kill a monster and earn a few orans.
You're right, of course. It had something to do with Letho and the Scoia'tael.
What did she want from Iorveth?
The Scoia'tael were Saskia's trump card. I expect Sheila needed to know what the elves would do, given that a war with Henselt was practically inevitable.
That'll have to do for now.
We'll learn more at the talks.
You're going to attend?
You have no memory of how the world worked before the Thanid massacre.
Actually, I know exactly how it worked.
That means...
We'll talk about my memory later.
All right. If the Council and Conclave still existed, kings wouldn't be assassinated and massacres would be less frequent. This is our chance to restore these institutions, and we shouldn't miss it. Normalizing relations between the rulers and the mages who advise them is our only chance for peace.
And our only chance to dismantle the Lodge.
The Lodge will disintegrate anyway. Once the kings learn it was behind the assassinations, they'll start a witch hunt. We can prevent that from happening. I'm all for punishing the guilty, but can't abide collective responsibility. I'm ready to go and reveal everything I know about Philippa Eilhart, Sheila de Tanserville, and their schemes.
Let's go then.
Those Nilfgaardians, that's your work?
They followed their leader too blindly.
Killed them all.
They didn't slaughter themselves.
We shouldn't arrive at the same time. Let's split up.
I'd rather not leave you alone again so soon.
I'm a big girl, remember? Besides, I promised to be careful.
Triss.
Yes?
That was some mess. I wouldn't want to see you hurt like that again.
Don't worry, I'll manage. See you at the talks.
All right.
Welcome.
Announcement! I tell you, shatter your towers and crystal walls, break your wands and burn your hats. Turn away the black.
In a hurry to get to the deliberations.
Has Saskia spoken yet?
That cunt inspired dreams of freedom among the peasantry. Now all Edirne stands in flames. Peasants slaughter nobles.
They just wanted a free Vergen.
Free Vergen? To hell with a lot of you!
Freedom. A magic word. It can replace nourishment, inspire the masses to fight. Those who cry freedom can perform miracles. Stennis underestimated the meaning of freedom when he poured poison into the mouth of one who spoke that word earnestly. Aedirn has no king. It has no ruler. Instead, it has famine, disease, bandits, and poverty. The fight for freedom is always good, but then rulers must be chosen and it all starts again. Yet the free are joyful, even if a bit hungry.
Good that you're here. We don't have much time.
Seems like we never do.
First, we have to get by the guards.
Leave that to me.
Be careful.
I'm always careful.
The Kingslayer! Get him!
Might have tried to reason with them.
Easier this way. Trust me.
Path's clear. Can we go?
Yeah, let's go.
Everything will be revealed at last.
Whether you like it or not, John Natalis, Temeria will be divided.
For the good of the entire North.
The united forces of Kedwin and Redania will end the fighting among the Elder Houses and secure peace from Gorsvelen to Ellendar. At present, Temeria is starting to resemble the Pontar Valley.
Which, if I understand correctly, is currently controlled by Aedirn.
You are mistaken, Radovid. Vergen is free.
Free? What precisely does that mean?
Lormark is not Kedwin's, and Aedirn no longer controls Upper Aedirn. We have rejected Prince Stennis.
So I heard.
And handed King Henselt's army a resounding defeat.
Your forces, my dear lass, are nothing but a motley array of rebellious peasants and elven brigands. Sooner or later, they will need to swear allegiance to someone, or they will be defeated and dispersed.
The peoples of the Pontar Valley will swear allegiance to me, Queen Saskia. As an independent realm, we hereby speak in favor of reconstituting the Council and Conclave.
You're a lovely girl, but you issue from common stock. The sole crown you are worthy of donning is a wreath woven of wildflowers. Redania will recognize no other coronation.
In that case, you must choose, King Radovid. Will you carve up Temeria, or march on the Pontar Valley? Henselt, last of the line of the Unicorns, has sworn to recognize the Pontar Valley as a free realm. Philippa Eilhart witnessed it.
Philippa Eilhart is in my dungeon, awaiting trial for treason.
She was in your dungeon, Radovid, but is no longer. She will sit at my side in Vergen as my royal advisor.
To the matter at hand. The document describing the charter of the Council and the Conclave is, as previously ascertained, an exact copy of the charter found in the ruins on Thanet Island. The more important question relates to the Conclave and its power to designate royal advisors. Today, randomly chosen mages and sorceresses reside at many courts. However, in the time of the previous Conclave, such persons were carefully chosen.
Why shouldn't we pick our own advisors?
These individuals bear great responsibility, Your Majesty. The Conclave needs to be certain they are competent.
And that they will keep the Conclave's interests in mind.
Obviously, sire. The Conclave's chief interest is the well-being and prosperity of the Northern Kingdoms. The document has been signed by every member of the conclave we have proposed, as well as by all but one of the designated advisors. We await only Sheila de Tanserville's signature.
Without our royal seals, you should be allowed to designate advisors to cowherd at most.
That is true, Your Majesty.
Sheila de Tanserville should never be allowed to sign this document.
Triss Merigold, you decided to join us after all.
De Tanserville has royal blood on her hands. She can't sit on the conclave.
That is a lie.
Have you anything to support these claims, Merigold?
There are witnesses who will confirm that Sheila de Tanserville was behind the assassinations of Demavend and Foltest.
Officials of the future council and conclave. Sheila de Tanserville should be arrested and tried. If Triss Merigold speaks the truth, Lady de Tanserville will be condemned to death.
Sheila de Tanserville, until Triss Merigold's charges are dismissed or refuted, you cannot sit on the conclave.
Arrest her.
You don't know the whole truth. Merigold doesn't know what she's talking about.
While you can, Witcher. You can't stop me, not you, not anyone else. If I have to, I will kill you.
You're late. I've already managed to stabilize the portal.
You've got nowhere to run. Sooner or later, somebody will find you.
I prefer to leave on my own terms.
Where's Letho?
Synthesis will tend to him, as she will to all the fools who get a hard-on at the mere thought of burning a sorceress at the stake.
Where is he?
I don't know, fool. I've been looking for him since Foltest's assassination. Letho cheated all of us. We were deceived by his dull face and sluggish stare. Don't you understand? The Lodge sought a way to get rid of Demavend, that's true. He was a weak, volatile king. Edirn would eventually choke to death under his rule. We chose the lesser evil. He had to be eliminated, and Letho happened to be at hand.
Foltest? Henselt?
We had nothing to do with that. After assassinating Demavend, Letho used our gold and magical support to find and meet Iorveth. The elf was to help him hide until the matter blew over, or so I thought. The Lodge did not condemn Foltest to die.
Then who did?
Nilfgaard.
Letho is the king of liars and emperor of traitors. From the start, he worked for the glory of the great sun and the white flame dancing on the graves of his foes. He lied to everyone. Me, Iorveth, your stupid little Triss, and you.
Got any evidence?
A moment ago, I received a message from the Lodge's agent in Sintra. The Imperial Army is on the move. They're fording the Yaruga now. Do you think the North can defend itself in the current situation? And can you count on another miracle at Brenna?
I don't know, but you made it all possible and you'll answer for that. The stigma of treason is yours for all time.
We shall see. For no one will leave this city alive. No one will tell this story. Philippa controls the dragon. As soon as I disappear, it will turn the city into a flaming tomb. We may have lost a battle, but the war is just beginning. You, however, shall not take part in it. This is your end, Witcher.
Farewell! Something's not right! The diamond! Someone replace the diamond! This one's flawed! I'll be torn to bits! Geralt, remove it!
You waited long enough. Should you survive, go south to Nilfgaard, where you'll find Yennefer of Vengerberg. Farewell, Witcher.
list of the Lodge's sorceresses. A list of the whores you'll help us find.